ambulance to detail me a screaming for one. Inside the Irish social club at number 19 Park Street, West Rock Street.
We gather in this space for magic. We come to the movie canon to laugh, to cry, to care. We crave that indescribable feeling that streams over us as the intros start to roll in. And we go somewhere we've never been before, not just entertained, but somehow reborn. Together, dazzling images perfectly rendered on all of our screens. Sound that I can feel. Somehow, heartbreak feels good on a live stream like this. Our vibrant panelists and viewers represent the very best of us. United by our passion for cinema and art, our content is a testament to the power of community, crafted with precision and heart. Because here, they are. The Movie Canon. We make streaming better.
Hi, you're watching the Movie Canon? Watch Gio.
And here we go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Movie Canon. I'm Giovanni, and this is The Met Report, a show about movies, entertainment, and television news. And for today's episode, I'm joined by a couple of guests. Both of them have been here before. One of them has actually been on my channel for many, many years. And he had a break for about 6 months, and now he's back. But let's go ahead and bring in my guest, which I like to call my Canon Counsel. You guys know him as Mr. Alex Montano. How you doing, Alex?
Good, and you? Good to be here.
Nice to have you on here again. I like your hat, Alex.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did you get that at any kind of like convention or anything like that for the 40th?
It's for celebration, but I didn't go. I got it from there, but I didn't go. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I forgot what that was. I think that was in Orlando, I think.
I think so.
Florida? Yeah.
I think
it
so.
was somewhere
A
around
friend
there.
went and I asked him to buy it for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot to get one when I went in 2022. Yeah, 2022 when it was in Anaheim.
Nice.
So I forgot to get a hat or anything like that. But yeah, thank you so much for being on here again,
That's
Alex.
always
Greatly
fun.
appreciate it.
See.
For my next guest here, this is my little brother Matthew. So he's been on the show many times. But
Hello.
so
Little
so
brother Matthew.
so he took a break, right, Matthew? Because you started going to school, you started to work, so you weren't really on the show anymore.
I sure wasn't.
Yeah, so it's summertime, so you're off from school and stuff like that. So we have Matthew on here. So like I said, he's been on the show many times. First time, I don't know how old he was. That was like in 2017. He was a child. So it's been a while there. But thank you guys for being on here today on the Met Reports. Greatly appreciated there. Let's go ahead and get started with. So I'll do. Actually, let me move this real quick here. I'll do a mystery Funko Pop if there's enough viewers, live viewers at the end. If not, then of course we won't do it. But I'm also doing the Funko giveaway for the 50th episode of the Met Report, which will be sometime next month. I don't know exactly when. But it'll be, I believe, sometime in July. And this one as well, this Deadpool Funko, will be a giveaway. And there's another one that I'm considering also adding as part of the giveaway, depending on how things work out. But I'll talk to you guys about that a little later. But let's go ahead and actually, I don't think I have anything in the live chat right now. So let's go ahead and get started with the first topic here. So this is the Super Mario Brothers movie, the sequel. So the first movie came out 2023 last year in April, and it did a lot of it made a lot of money. It was very successful. I wasn't necessarily a huge fan of the movie. Like, I liked it just fine, but it was just I think it was more targeted to kids, which makes sense, right? It's an animated movie. but when it comes to Super Mario Brothers and things like that, there's a lot of adults who have like some kind of nostalgia for the game. So I thought they would maybe like I don't know, target a little bit to both, things like that. But it was more like a basic story, so I wasn't a huge fan of the movie. I think it was okay, but obviously it made a lot of money as expected. And Super Mario Brothers 2 is coming, and they have a release date now that it's in April of 2026. So in just like 2 years, so we'll have another Super Mario Brothers movie. And there's not much information quite there yet, except that it looks like the majority of the cast is returning, and of course we're probably going to see a lot of new characters that we didn't see in the first movie, like Yoshi. So you saw the movie. There's a little teaser or a little post-credit scene, I believe it was, where they show this here. So I'm sure we're expecting Yoshi. So all of you Nintendo Super Mario Brothers fans, I'm sure you'll enjoy that. But let's throw this to Mr. Alex Montano. If I remember correctly, I don't think you were a huge fan of the movie, but what are your quick thoughts on that?
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan. It's okay. I can watch it again one day. Just, if there's nothing else to watch. I'm a big Mario Bros fan, but I think it's gonna be fun for the people who like it. You know? Yeah, but it's cool to see that video games movies are getting better, and I think it has a lot to do that people who actually grew up with these video games are now making these movies, and not people who never really cared about video games, like back in the 90s when they did that monstrosity of Mario Bros. Movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the one in the 90s, the early 90s, right? With
that was
John
horrible.
Leguizamo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that movie, and I was young too. I was so excited for that movie.
Me too.
I was a big fan of the game, and that movie was advertised, and I was dying to watch it. And then even back then, as a kid, I was like, "This movie sucks."
Yeah.
So I'm glad they did something animated. I think is the best way to go when it comes to like Super Mario Brothers or anything Nintendo, really.
Yeah.
I think they mentioned something about Zelda. I think they mentioned something that it might be live action. I'm not entirely sure, but
I hope it's not live action. I would love to see it animated, but not 3D animated. I would love to see a 2D animation.
Oh, I see.
I don't think
Okay.
it's gonna happen. And I would love to have more Japanese style animation like Studio Ghibli. That would be something cool.
Oh,
But
okay.
I know it's not gonna happen. I know they're gonna target it more towards a Western audience and not, the creators of the game. So that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't do that, especially at this point, since they already started it. With this type of an animation here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So I'm just going to read this real quick here. It says Nintendo has already confirmed that fans in the United States will be able to see the premiere of the Super Mario Brothers 2 on April 3rd, 2026. And I guess it doesn't include other regions around the world, including Europe, Asia, and things like that. But there's not much information about it quite yet. But I do think it's pretty fast considering that it's an animated movie. So it's just in about less than 2 years that we'll see the sequel to the Super Mario Brothers movie. But Matthew, I know you're also a big fan of the games, and we watched the movie together at Universal Studios Hollywood at the AMC there. So what are your anticipation levels on another Super Mario Brothers movie?
When I watched the first movie, I liked it a lot, but since then my careness for it, I guess, has diminished a bit. But I'd definitely watch the sequel. I still love Mario, and I'm glad that with this new animated movie that there's been a ton of new Mario merch, because when I was growing up, we had like nothing. We had like Japanese knockoff merch, and the only stuff we had to watch was that animated show and also the 90s movie, like you said. So I definitely prefer this new age, or like I can go to Target and get a Mario plush and then go watch the Mario movie. So,
and I think I remember you got the Bowser plush, right? I think it was at the park, right? At the Universal.
Yeah, Universal.
Yeah, and then there was like things in the movie that I didn't, because I didn't play the newer Super Mario Brothers games. I was more into obviously the first ones that came out. But I think I remember you, Matthew, saying that you recognize like a certain storyline from the newer games. Do you remember that?
Yeah, they did the Mario Odyssey like wedding thing. Like they straight up did the outfits like verbatim. So
Oh,
that was
okay.
something for me personally. That's one of my favorite games of all time. But yeah, they definitely did like a lot of new and old stuff in that movie.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see here. Any other thoughts on the sequel to Super Mario Brothers before we move on to the next one here?
Let's hope it's good. That's all I can say.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll definitely see what happens there. All right. So, like I said, there's not too much information about the Super Mario Brothers movie, but I know it's gonna be a huge hit whenever it comes out. It did make like over $1.3 billion when it came out last year. So there you go. There. Let's see here. Mr. Kuso saying, "Thank you so much for dropping by here." Mr. Kuso says it's a wonder they haven't remade the '90s Mario movie yet. Yeah, the actual live action. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that now. At least not while they're doing this animated format here. But yeah, thank you so much there, Mr. Kuso. Okay, so let's move on to the next one here, and the next one is, and this is not a figures talk show, but there's a couple reasons why I'm even talking about this Hot Toys Wolverine. So the the first thing is because this announcement actually did make it to news outlets that are outside of collectors circles and things like that. And mainly it's because we hadn't seen a look of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, wearing the cowl, the mask, the whole outfit. And this is like the very first look that we kind of get this. Obviously, it's a figure. There's a lot of realism going on in Hot Toys for the people who are not following, Hot Toys and things like that. So this was like the first time that we really get a pretty good glimpse of it. And like I said, outside of the collectors circles, we've been talking about it for like a couple weeks now. I didn't get a chance to actually talk about it because I was kind of busy last week, so I didn't do a show with this particular announcement. So I decided to bring it up here today. But let me look at the article, because this was actually from IGN. So IGN actually talked about this, and as long as I've been collecting, they've only done this twice where I see like an outlet or a news source that talks about a Hot Toy figure that is, not really their what they do basically, right? So so let me try to get the page here from IGN. So they're basically talking about this because of what I just mentioned, right? This is the first look that we get of this Wolverine. And let's see, where is it? Here it is. Okay, so let me show it here. Hopefully you guys can see it. Okay, so we have here Hot Toys Wolverine figure offers closest look yet at Hugh Jackman's new costume. So we have here Deadpool Wolverine not only features the first MCU appearance of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, it's also the first Marvel movie to have Logan decked out in a comic book accurate yellow and blue costume. Now we're gotten a much better look at that new costume thanks to Hot Toys' incredibly detailed and lifelike Wolverine figure. So I don't know if you guys were not wanting to get spoiled and you haven't seen this before, but I mean, I've been posting images of this Wolverine on my social media for like weeks now. But yeah, let's go to you, Mr. Alex Montano, just in general about the figure and just your overall thoughts about just this version, comic version of Wolverine in a live action.
I think it's the figure that everybody wanted for a while. Like, this is the Wolverine that everybody wanted from Hot Toys since I can remember. And I mean, it looks awesome. The head sculpt is great. I don't love the hair, but I think it's just, I mean, they can fix it, or it's not a big deal. I think most people are gonna display it with the mask on. So I think it's pretty good looking, man. Like, I don't buy Hot Toys anymore, but I really like this figure. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they have the collector's edition or the standard edition that doesn't have the head sculpt. So it has
just the mask.
It just has this, right? So it doesn't have the head sculpt.
Okay.
And it doesn't have the battle damage armor. and then I joked once before that it doesn't come with the claws, but but yeah. So this will be the collector's edition. Again, this is a very good look. I think. I mean, this is what it's going to look like in the movie. We haven't seen this in live action yet, right? So we haven't seen at least as I'm aware of. Maybe they dropped something earlier today. I don't know, but they actually haven't dropped live action version of this yet. So this is the closest that we got to this.
Yeah.
Matthew, what are your thoughts on this Wolverine Hot Toys?
Well, it looks great. Firstly, I've always loved the yellow and blue. I'm not one who thought that they couldn't do it in live action. I just thought they wouldn't. But now that they have, and we actually see it, it looks amazing. And then I'm glad that with the deluxe edition, we have the shoulder pads with it as well. Because I don't think we're getting that in the movie. But I'm glad we could do that on the figure. But yeah, I think it looks great. I'm probably gonna pick this up in the future if it doesn't sell out before it comes out. But yeah, I love it.
I'm sure they're making a lot of these. I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
it's just like that one figure, that one character that is gonna have a high demand, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be good there. Let's look at the live chat here. We have John Stutzman saying, "I'm very excited to see Super Mario 2, and I'll be seeing Deadpool and Wolverine on 4DX." So yeah, thanks so much, John Stutzman. I don't think I've seen you in the live chat before, so welcome. Thank you so very much. And actually, 4DX, I was kind of considering watching a movie in 4DX for Twisters. For Deadpool and Wolverine, I just had to get whatever tickets that I was able to get right away because I want to watch it that Thursday night, so I wasn't going to be super picky. But Mr. Kuso saying he looks so good, referring to this figure here. And then Yomo dropping by here. Thanks so much, Yomo, for being here. It says perfection, of course, Mr. Yomo, big Wolverine fan. Austin Nicholas saying, Gio, thanks so much, Austin Nicholas, for being here, for dropping by. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much there. Then John saying Wolverine toy looks awesomeness. So yeah, definitely. So this like I said, this figure was announced last week. The best look that we've had so far of the overall costume as to what he's going to look like. I do see Wolverine. I do see Hugh Jackman, I should say, in this head sculpt. I don't really have too many issues with it, to be honest with you. I think it looks great.
It looks great. Like just the hair, like it looks kind of flat, but
Yeah.
Do you think it would have been better if it was the artisan rooted hair?
no.
Do you think that would be a bit of an issue?
Yeah, short hair, rooted, no. Hot toys, no.
Yeah, I don't know with how that's going to be, because they did I'm sure you know about this. I think we talked about it on my Star Wars talk show about the Dark Side Luke.
Yeah.
The artisan is short hair, and we haven't seen that yet, right? We haven't seen what it actually looks like in hand. But obviously they didn't go this route for the artisan rooted hair, right? For this right here. So let me see here. I think there's another comments in here. See, always brothers, says Austin Nicholas. Yes, definitely, Mr. Austin Nicholas. Okay, so let's see. So let's go back here to okay. So again, masked head with interchangeable lower faces, and I believe that's also for the standard or the collector's edition. For the deluxe, we have separate rolling eyeballs. Actually, I think it would be for the deluxe because there's no head sculpt for the standard. Interchangeable sleeved arms, interchangeable battle damage armors, which I mentioned earlier, masked head with interchangeable lower faces, attached claws, and that base. I'm not a big fan of the base, but
No.
I'm not even sure if I would use that anyway. But yeah, it looks great. $340 if you want the exclusive, and I think it's like $280 for the standard. So that's how much that hot toy figure will cost there. Matthew, any other thoughts before we move on to the next segment?
Nope.
All right. So okay, so there is more stuff going on regarding Wolverine. So let me just get over here real quick. So obviously we've been talking about this specific figure, right? So the Hot Toys, but there's some other stuff that is that has dropped like this week about the movie itself. So let me just share this real quick. Now I'm going to talk about the box office for just a moment here, because I know that's been making news for a while, especially with when it comes to the box office in the just going to the theaters in general this year. It's been kind of low. And then Marvel MCU, as a lot of you guys know, it's not at its top form right now. And this is the only MCU movie that we will have in 2024. So the projections here are that Deadpool and Wolverine is looking to slash box office records with over $200 million opening box office early look. So I know there was some questionable I've seen comments that maybe it's not going to make this much. Now I actually think it will. I mean, now it is an R-rated movie, so it is definitely going to limit a certain audiences, right, to come in. Now, Alex, since you don't live here in the US, but do they have something similar? I was assuming they have something similar when it comes to like a rating system that certain people are restricted.
Yeah, same thing, but it's A is for all family, B is for teenagers, C is for adults. So yeah, don't ask me why they label it like that.
So, yeah, but yeah. So I mean, it's like I said, an R-rated movie, so it is gonna cut a significant amount there. It's not gonna be like Endgame or No Way Home, because those are
Yeah, the difference in Latin America is that you can sneak in without a problem. Like if you look a little older, then what do you? If you're 14 and you have little stubble, you can get in. Yeah. So.
Oh, so they don't even like card you or anything? Like, let me see your ID? No? Oh, wow.
Unless you look super young now. And then I watched Blair Witch Project when I was 11, and I wasn't supposed to get in, and yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Yeah.
All right. I think it's kind of like strict here.
Yeah. No, I remember ID. Like I was in. Where was I? I think I was in LA when 1408 came out, like that John Cusack movie from Stephen King book. It was a horror movie. It was rated R, I think.
I don't remember if it was, but yeah, go ahead.
They didn't let me in.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think I was 17. I think they didn't let me in.
Yeah, I was banned, or I wasn't allowed to go in to see The Matrix for the third time. So when I went the first time, they didn't ask me anything. That was in '99, so they didn't ask me for an ID. I didn't have an ID anyways, but for some reason they let me in. The second time, same thing, they let me in. The same theater too. Yeah. No issues. That I went the third time. I did come with a cousin that's younger than me.
That's probably why.
And then they asked me like, how old are you? And I was like, I lied, but they still didn't let us in. So I was like, oh,
30.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. But yeah, I think that was the only time that I wasn't allowed. Like I was straight up told no. I think I was questioned once, and I kind of like persuade them to let me watch. What movie was it? I think it was The Faculty. Have you seen The Faculty?
Yeah,
Alex?
I really like it.
Yeah. So that one, they questioned me like, how old are you? And I told them, I was 16. And I was like 14, I think, or 13. and then they just questioned me like, it's okay. It's not a problem. This is not an issue. My mom dropped me off, so it's like, and they actually let me in. So okay. But now they want an ID. When it comes to this movie, I expect to have, I'm sure there's going to be several like security guards there, like checking IDs and stuff like that. So I'm sure that's going to happen there. Let's see here. So we have Mr. Jose G. What's up, everyone? Hello there, Jose Plus, the fact checker. Thank you so much for dropping by. Greatly appreciate it. Jose has been on my show a couple times on Horror Talk and the Met Report before. So thank you so much, Mr. Jose Plus. And I still need to have you go on Figures Talk in the future. I'll definitely hit you up later. Mr. Thrawn's office. Sup, boys? Hello there. How you doing? Thanks so much for dropping by here as well. Greatly appreciate it. Formerly known as Mike Literis. So thanks so much. All right. So let's see. So we're talking about the box office. So this is what I was going to do. So I was going to show the box office of the first Deadpool movie. Right. So the first Deadpool movie, It opened to $132 million. That's the domestic opening. That was back in 2016, right? So that was pre-COVID, all-rated movie. So it did very, very well, right? The second Deadpool movie, that one opened at $125 million. And that was in 2018, still pre-COVID. So still very, very good for an R-rated movie. So now the projections, like I mentioned earlier here, is over $200 million. And I do think that will happen. First, we have the Hugh Jackman factor, right? So he's in this movie. We finally see this version of Wolverine. I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to see that. Overall, the Deadpool movies have been popular and successful. So that's definitely going to add to the interest. So I think this will be easy $200+ million. So just a matter of, will it make the $239 million or more, like it says here that it might, right? So, but we'll see what's going to happen there. I don't remember if I asked you, any of you guys, but do you guys think it'll make this $200 million mark, or you think it'll be less than that?
I think it's gonna be less than that.
You think it'll be less than that?
I think
Not by much.
it'll make it.
Wait, sorry, what was that again? I can't hear that.
I said I think it'll probably make it.
You think it will? And you don't think so then, Alex?
I think it will make 150, 170, but I don't think it's gonna make the
Okay. And is it because of the restricted rating, or just in general you don't think it's that
I think like
popular?
people don't go to theaters that much anymore. I think 200 is a very large number.
Yeah.
Covered, like that's like when you had like, I don't know, like other big movies, like let's say just Infinity War or something like that, like all the numbers were like around that 200 million, stuff like that. So I think it's a little high because it's not really an event movie, something that everybody's dying to watch. I think still it's gonna make money, but I don't think it's gonna make
Yeah, I mean, I still think it is kind of a bit of an event. I think a lot of people, now of course I'm only talking about my circle, right?
Yeah.
But I do think it will get pretty close to 200 million, or it'll cross it. I don't necessarily think it'll be 239 or much higher, definitely not higher than that. But who knows? Because there is the point that you made right now about that people are just not going to the theaters right now. They're just not really going as much.
I think like maybe the second week it will have a little lift, you know, but I don't know. I don't think that we are in that time anymore.
Oh wow.
Just
that kind of sucks though, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it sucks, but I mean, it's like that now. People rather watch it at home and don't spend so much money in the theaters.
although I don't think Disney Plus is going to drop this movie into their streaming platform right away.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think they're going to wait because Inside Out 2 came out last week here. And it made over $150 million. So a Pixar movie, which is, I was surprised about that because I thought people were waiting for Disney Plus, especially when it comes to the animated movies. Most people just want to wait, right? So it made $150 million last week. And I mean, yeah, it is a sequel, and obviously it's not all rated, right? But people, I guess, depends on the movie, they might actually show up, right? And then there's also the I believe I heard or read that Disney said something about that they're not going to drop it on Disney Plus until after 100 days after the release date in the theaters.
That's pretty good.
So that, I mean, I like that idea, right? Because I mean, I obviously am an advocate of the movie-going experience, right? I definitely don't want that to go away, because that will be kind of devastating if it goes away, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
But if you have to wait 100 days, then you're more likely to go and see it in the theater. And I think that might be the case with Deadpool and Wolverine. I really don't think they're just going to drop it on Disney Plus.
And I hope not. I hope not. Yeah. I don't think they will either. But they should do this, and they should stop announcing like, "Oh, it's going to be out in 30 days." Don't say that. Just don't say that. make people go and watch it in the theaters, and then after it's successful, go and tell people, okay, now in 3 months it's gonna be in Disney Plus. But I think the fact that they used to do that, like tell you, okay, so the movie comes out, what day is it today? July 1st, and it's gonna be on streaming platforms July 30th. If you say that, like people are just gonna wait.
Yeah, I'll just wait till July 30th. Thanks. So it's like-
Yeah, I can wait 30 days. I don't care.
But yeah, because then you're already paying for Disney Plus, or
Yeah.
maybe you can just sign up at the time. What would you spend $25 to go see a movie that it'll be out on Disney Plus in a month?
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully they start changing that stuff. But
I'm sure it's gonna make money. 200, I don't know, but it's gonna make a lot of money.
we have John Stutzman saying, "Are you guys going to see Deadpool and Wolverine?" Yes, of course. Me and Matthew are going to watch it, and some other people. And then Alice, you're going to watch it that first weekend, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Darren Wardle saying it will do better than predicted. So that there's one there. Thrawn's office. They also take into consideration that the average ticket price in 2018 was $9.11, and now it's $10.75. However, movies leave theaters earlier, right? People go to the theater less, and there are literally less seats in theaters now, since many have upgraded to luxury loungers, which the components there. Good point there.
Yep.
But I do see this breaking records regardless. Yeah. So I'll still contend that it'll hit at least 200 million, or at least it'll get to the 190. But we'll see what happens, right? Mr. Kuso says, yeah, ticket and concession prices keep me out of the theaters now, but I plan on seeing this one on the big screen. So this is what I mean. Like there's just some people that may not rush out to see a movie in the theater, but I think this is one of those movies that, yes, I'm gonna go see this as soon as possible. I do think this is one of those. Thrawn's office saying, also, this is the rare movie that feels like it was made by people who don't hate me. All right, so we got that. Okay, so I think there was something else regarding that. Oh, here's another thing here, and this is gonna go more into the whole rumors situation, right? So just take this as you will, right? So saying that Blade appearing in Deadpool and Wolverine world would continue Ryan Reynolds' comic book movie trend. I've heard this. How accurate this is, I have no idea, except the thing that is talking about here in Screen Rant is that Ryan Reynolds has used, other characters that he's played in other movies. Like in the first Deadpool movie, he brings the Deadpool from 2009. And then I think it was the second Deadpool that he brings in, or at least kind of references the Green Lantern. And they're saying that maybe we'll see Blade. I'm guessing Wesley Snipes as one of those cameos. If that's going to happen, I have no idea. But if you were to see that, Alex, what would you think about that?
I don't know, man. I don't think I care a lot.
Okay. Yeah, so just another cameo there. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of cameos.
It's cool. It's cool, but it's like, okay, Wesley Snipes is there, and we haven't seen him in what, like 20 years as Blade.
Yeah, I mean, he was I think he was like in prison for a few years, I think, for the IRS situation there. But
he was in prison?
I believe he was. I think he was, because of the IRS. I guess some IRS issues going on. But so yeah, how about you, Matthew? Gen Zer. Since I don't even know if you've seen. Have you seen the original Blade movie? I don't even think it was.
Yeah. But this is like the most random, convoluted theory ever. So,
Okay.
nor do I care for it to happen.
Wow.
But
Okay.
no, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Okay. All right. So I guess we'll find out. We see him.
Like, I don't know. It's kind of like when George Clooney showed up in The Flash. He's like, oh, he's there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. We have another comment here. Where is it? Thrawn's office says, yeah, cut him some slack. The guy was literally in prison. Yeah, there you go. So there you go. Yeah, I think he didn't want to pay his IRS bill, so so he wouldn't. He rather go to prison. But he's out now, and who knows? Maybe he'll make an appearance here for Alex's delight. So they.
I like his movie. I like playing.
Oh, yeah,
I remember the first two movies were fun, but
Yeah.
it's like I don't know, man. Like, is it really that relevant?
Well, I mean, a lot of those cameos are not, right? So
Yeah.
it's just like, you know that they're going to do a bunch of cameos based on the whole, what is it, the universe jumping or whatever, multiverse
Yeah.
jumping. So you know he's going to go into all these places, and I'm sure that's probably one of those is going to be one of those situations, especially with Ryan Reynolds' humor.
Yeah.
And then the whole Blade and the whole Blade Trinity situation,
Exactly.
right? So that's why I think that's where that speculation.
And
is
I
like,
think, you know what, like, it's not that crazy now that I think about it, since they are trying to keep alive the interest for the Marvel Blade movie.
Oh
It
yeah,
might be a good idea to make people jump into the franchise and watch the old movies and see if people still have interest in them.
yeah, because that Blade movie MCU, I don't know what the hell's gonna happen to that.
It's not.
So
I don't think it's gonna.
you think
I
it's
don't
not gonna
think
happen? Yeah, Mahershala Ali, he's gonna lead eventually. I wouldn't be surprised next week. He has dropped out as
Yeah.
Blade, but yeah, we'll see what happens there. Okay, so the next thing here, let me get over there real quick. Okay, another situation here. Some people have been asking me about this, the popcorn bucket. So the popcorn bucket for Deadpool and Wolverine. So Matthew, as a Gen
Yes.
Zer, does this interest you? Getting a popcorn bucket,
Um,
or this one, anyways?
a little bit because it looks pretty stupid. So just for that alone, you know, I would kind of want it, but I probably won't get it. No.
I mean, I did get the Dune one, the Dune 2.
Yeah.
It was like, I think it was like $30. So it wasn't too bad, but
Yeah.
I'm sure this one will be around there. And like I said, some people have asked me about this. Like, do you know when is it gonna be available? Whatever. So let me just show this real quick here, guys. So hold on a second here. Can you guys still hear me and see me? Because I'm getting like a connection issue. Okay. All right. So I mean, I usually go to AMC theaters because it's close to me, and I have that A-list pass or whatever. So if for the people who are interested in this Wolverine popcorn bucket and you want to go to AMC theaters, so what you would have to do is go to their website, assuming that you're not already in the theater and then you see it there, right? So they have the merchandise there on their website, right? So you go to the merchandise there, and then you just go based on where did I go? Oh, click the merchandise button there. Okay, so there you go. I think you guys can still see it, right? Oh, you know, I'm showing the different one. Hold on a sec. There you go. Okay, so you go to the merchandising section there, and then it'll show you like all these things that they're selling or whatever, right? So I'm sure when this comes out, when this popcorn bucket comes out, it'll probably be here if you don't want to necessarily go to the theater itself to find out, right? So it'll probably be in the merchandise section under the AMC theaters. If you go to Cinemark, let me see here if I'm able to show it. Okay, there it is. Same thing. They have a merchandise tab. You click on that, and then it'll. Oh, I think I'm already there. And then you just go here, the popcorn buckets, right? So there you go. So there's no like date as to when it's gonna, come out or whatever. But I'm sure it'll be sometime next month. I've seen it where they become available before the movie comes out, maybe like a couple weeks before the movie comes out. So if you guys were interested in that, then definitely that'll be a way for you to try to get it. If I'm able to secure two, because I do want one. If I'm able to secure one, I'll see if I can do a giveaway for the 50th episode of the Met Report. So I'm assuming it's not too complicated to like ship it out and not get damaged. But if that's the case, if it's not an issue, then I'll definitely do that. Let's see. Mr. Kuso says best popcorn bucket ever. Says Mr. Kuso. Maybe he hasn't seen the Dune 2 one yet, but But yeah, so let me see if there's anything else, at least when it comes to any kind of news of any sort. Okay, so it looks like we're caught up there. So Mr. Kuso is also saying someone printed that for an action figure too. Okay, so that's where you. I think I've seen that somewhere as well. I was online there. Okay, so hold on a second, everyone. Okay, so the next thing here is there's something that I'm calling nostalgic summer movies, right? So myself, and I'm sure a lot of big movie fans, or just in general, there was some summer movies that you might have seen that you enjoyed and you loved in the theater, right? Because we're talking about movie theater experiences, right? We're trying to keep them alive, right? But going back, if you go into your memory lane or whatever the case might be, there might be some movies that when you think of like summer movie theater experiences, there might be some movies that may not necessarily be amazing, great movies, but you had a great time, you growing up or whatever the case, right? So I asked you, Alex, Matthew, and then I put some myself as to what might be 3 of those movies that you might have experienced. And this is what we're doing here, that nostalgic summer movies. So I'm going to start with you, Mr. Alex. I'm going to reveal your 3, and then you can just talk about them one by one here. So I'll reveal the first one, and then you can just talk about it, and then we'll move on to the next one and so forth, and then we'll get to Matthew. So let's do your first one here, Mr. Alex. So of course this was Jurassic Park. So that came out in 1993. Now, I actually didn't get a chance to watch this in the theater, at least not when it first came out. I watched it as a re-release. I think it was like last year. Yeah, last year, 2023, would be the 30th anniversary. So I missed it. I was dying to see this movie, but for whatever reason, I wasn't able to go. But you did. So what are your thoughts on this, Mr.
Yeah, I was super young. I was 5 years old, I think.
Damn.
And yeah, I was a baby, man. But it's one of those experiences that I remember. I think it was the first time that I was like, okay, how did they do this?
Mm-hmm.
How is this possible? Like I was really young. I'm like, okay, so there's a guy called Steven Spielberg who makes movies, and I started obsessing with him. It was real. I was a kid, man, and I think this movie is impactful because it's like when older people watch Star Wars for the first time or Superman, that said like, how is this even possible? How can you make this look so real? And it was like that, and I was terrified almost throughout the whole movie. But it's such a memorable experience. Like I don't think any generation will experience this again the same way that we did back in the day. Like they can watch it in theaters, but it's not the same thing because like the first time you're actually seeing dinosaurs come alive.
Right.
It was very, very impactful. Like, yeah, I love this movie. I love this movie, and I actually even remember where I was sitting in the theater. That's
wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't able to watch it in the theater, but I would have loved to have. And when it finally came out on VHS, my parents bought me the VHS, and I was obsessed like immediately. So it's like all these great dinosaurs. It looks so real, and it's one of my top movies ever.
Yeah.
So it's definitely there. And then just a little segue there. I am going to rank a Steven Spielberg filmography this summer in the Met Reports. So I'll give you guys more details a little later. But yeah, Steven Spielberg, Jurassic Park. So let's look at the live chat here. We have Mr. Austin Nicholas says, I want figures from Jurassic Park. And then time always tells. You can watch Jurassic Park now, and it's still visually stunning. And yes, I completely agree with that. Like I said, I just watched it for the first time in the theater last year, and perfect. Like, there's nothing there that I was like, that looks dated. No, it's still perfect. It just showcases the horrorness of this dinosaur movie and things like that. So. Then Matthew, I believe you've seen Jurassic Park, right?
I've seen bits and pieces in various dentists and doctors' offices, but never in one like sitting.
Okay. That is not the way to experience Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some movies that I know you haven't seen, Matthew, so we need to like do like a movie thing, like a weekly movie thing. Some movies that you need to catch up to, and this is definitely one of them.
One of them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I think
this is-
I think you were supposed to go with us to see that in the theater.
Yeah, I
think
don't-
you had something else
I
going
was
on.
supposed to. I didn't end up going. I don't remember for what reason, but
Right, right. Because I think I had a ticket for you too, and we were
Yeah.
ready to go, but something happened.
you need to watch it. You really need to watch it.
I do.
Although he did watch Jurassic World Dominion, and he loved it, right, Matthew?
No.
I was about to get really angry at that.
Yeah,
That's not a way to get into the franchise.
he did watch that in theater, so there you
Oh my
go.
god. Who are you? I
uh,
watch it at home and I suffered through the whole thing.
Wow. Yeah, not good. And I was kind of very excited because they brought, obviously
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum and the main cast, but that doesn't really mean much anymore, really, right? Because if they're not gonna do anything with it, then what's the point, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Austin says, Matthew, you need to watch it in one sitting. It's not a movie, it's an experience, exactly, and not a dental office visit experience.
No.
Sure.
Jose Plus saying we saw Jurassic Park in a drive-in. I was 1 year old and apparently really scared. My mom told me, "Don't be scared. They are dinosaurs like Barney." Yeah, that's okay. That is one big difference between this T-Rex right here to a purple dinosaur. But I guess that'll work for you, right? Let's see. Austin says it's so cliche to say, but it's truly amazing. One of the few 10 out of 10 movies. And yes,
Yeah.
I would completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, there's that
So-
before and after Jurassic Park. In every way.
Yeah. And then the next one here, Mr. Alex, your number one. I'm not number one, but the next one here for you is so this is The Mummy,
Yeah.
the 1999. And hopefully hopefully we're talking about this movie and you didn't mean another movie.
Oh no, of
But-
course it was this one.
Okay, all right. The Brendan Fraser one. Okay,
Yeah.
so what are your thoughts on that?
Dude, I love Indiana Jones, and obviously I didn't get to watch those in theaters. So this was like watching an Indiana Jones movie, but with a mummy. So I don't know, man. Like it was such a fun experience. I was scared. I was having fun. It's not a fantastic movie, but I think it's one of those theater experiences that I like. Jurassic Park, I will never forget. It was fun, entertaining. The music is great. I think Jerry Goldsmith was the composer. I like it. I like it a lot. It's not as meaningful as Jurassic Park in my life,
Right.
but it's one of those experiences that's like, dude, I wish they made more movies like this one, which are just pure fun adventure movies that are just trying to make you have a good time and forget about everything else in the world.
Did you like the second one?
No.
No. You didn't like that rock CGI Scorpion King?
The PS1, the PS2 graphics, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but this one was great. This one was a super fun movie.
This was a lot of fun. I saw this in the theater in summer 99, and I was always fascinated with ancient Egypt, right? Pyramids and
Me
mummies
too.
and stuff like that. So when this movie was advertised and things like that, I was like on board like right away, and then saw it. It came out on Mother's Day weekend, so remember they did like a whole thing about Mummy's Day open, open big on Mother's Day or something like that. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. The second one, definitely has a lot of issues. I did not like the third one.
No.
I forgot what it's called, but I did not like the third one, and I hated the Tom Cruise one. So there you go there. Matthew, have you seen this, The Mummy?
No, but I have been on the Universal ride, so
Oh, okay, that's right. The Universal roller coaster that goes. It's in darkness. Have you been there before, Alex?
Yeah.
You
I
go into
really
the-
like it. Yeah.
Go in the dark and then it reverses and
It's so
it
much
is
fun.
it is a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah. I hope they never close it, man. Like it's one of those
Yeah.
really cool
Yeah.
rides.
Yeah, I think I heard that I'm not sure if I heard this, or maybe I'm mixing it up with Disney, but I think they're expanding the like the location, and
Okay.
hopefully that'll prevent it from getting closed. But
I hope so, man. I hate when they close them or they do weird upgrades like the Jurassic World upgrade.
oh, oh yeah, that's right. So I mean, they still have the Orlando one, still has the original Jurassic Park ride.
Nice.
So
I'm
that
lucky.
one's still there. Okay, so then the next one for you, Alex. Now I'm gonna put a little asterisk because this movie did not come out in the summer here in the US, but it did come out where you saw this movie at.
Mexico, yeah.
So that Mexico, that's the first Matrix movie.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts there?
Dude, I think you love this movie too. It's so impactful as well. This was like this for me. This was like a life-changing experience in terms of what made sci-fi movies for me. Like I've never seen anything like that. The idea of getting into a computer world, and it was too smart for me at the time. I was really young, so the whole idea behind everything was incredible. Like also will never forget what this movie made me think and feel. It's so cool.
Yeah, this is my favorite individual film, just in general.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is the one that I was denied watching a third time in the theater, but because it was all rated, and it was like barely all rated. I think it was just like there was like a couple of like kind of violent scenes, but like there was no like language or like
No.
sexual stuff. It just a little bit of violence that it just crossed it into that all rating situation. But yeah, Matthew, I know you've seen this movie, so what are your quick thoughts on that?
I saw it like 2-ish years ago. I thought it was pretty good. I don't like it as much as Gio does, but I can see where other movies got inspiration from this movie. Definitely like a lot of like the action scenes. I can see inspiration from that, but like, but yeah, I think it's pretty good. Nothing more than that, honestly. In my
Okay,
opinion.
all right. So,
Probably because you grew up in a world with computers and internet. And
Yeah.
it wasn't as
I guess
surprising.
so. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's something to do with that too. Because like, yeah,
Because-
so yeah, this is life. I know this already. So
Yeah, our simulation. Okay, we live in a simulation every day. Yeah.
right, exactly. So Jose says definitely agree. My guy at Austin Nicholas, and I think referring to Jurassic Park. Okay, so that was Mr. Alex's nostalgic summer movies, which were all great. Some of them would be mine too, but since you already did yours, I did a couple different ones. But the next one is Matthew. Now Matthew is younger, right? So some of these movies are going to be more recent in our memory, right? So the first one for Matthew is Cars 3 specifically. So what do you want to say about this, Matthew?
I know a lot of people don't like this movie per se, but
That is true.
I am not one of those people. The first Cars movie is my favorite movie of all time. Very odd pick, I know, but this movie, it's like one of the best looking animated movies I've ever seen. I know some people don't really like the hyper realistic look, but I specifically remember the scene where they're like in a forest or something, and I just remember like even in the theater I was like, dang, like that looks really good. But honestly, the reason I like this movie is because it had a very good conclusion for Lightning McQueen. I know a lot of people didn't like said conclusion because it was him passing the torch, of course, and they want him to just race forever, and and I always see discourse about Cars 4. Honestly, if there was a Cars 4 and Lightning McQueen was like in it racing, I honestly wouldn't like it. I don't think that's the direction the character should go. But yes,
Okay.
like this is one of my favorite summer movies and probably my second favorite Cars movie. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember your obsession with cars. So with the Pixar cars, yeah, it's all that Pixar magic. So yeah, I did like this first Cars movie, and a lot of people weren't a big fan of. That's when some people would say that this when Pixar's quality went down with the Cars movie, but I did really enjoy it, so I did kind of like it. I'm assuming you've seen this, Alex.
I've never seen it.
Oh, really? Okay, so all right.
Yeah,
So,
I don't like. I'm not into cars. So like when I saw the movie poster, I'm like, I don't think this is for me.
okay. It's just like that.
Yeah, I was like, I know what it is about, but back then I was like, so this is like Fast and the Furious for kids or what? So
Oh, wow.
yeah, they don't watch it.
Yeah, they made a Gran Turismo movie not too long ago, like last year, maybe the year before. And I watched that movie, and it was fine. It was better than I thought it would be. And the whole time, like the whole story of that movie is like, this is Cars. Like this whole thing, it's Cars. Like, yeah, it's like it's kind of like the same storyline.
They
But
stole
it's
the
just
plot.
live action. So I was like, yeah. So I thought that was kind of funny. So Matthew's next one is another Pixar movie, and that's Monsters University. So, what do you want to say, Matthew?
So this is probably, I don't know if it's one of the first 5 or 10 movies that I saw in theaters. I know I didn't start seeing movies in theaters until like about 2012, first Avengers, that era. But I do vividly remember seeing this movie being one of the first movies I saw, because I remember being confused because the commercial said see it only in theaters in 3D, so I thought you could only see it in 3D. So when we went to the theater, I was very confused to why it wasn't in 3D. But
Oh, I think because I took you to. I think I took you to that.
yeah,
right?
you took me to see that. But I definitely have a lot of nostalgia for this movie. I think partly due to the fact that this was around the time that the Disney Infinity game came out, and a big part of that game was the whole Monsters University thing, and that was like my favorite part of the game. So I feel like that's another part of why I enjoy this movie. But it's very fun. I prefer this movie over the first one, which is probably a hot take, but
Oh wow, yeah, it definitely is. So
yeah, I like it. It's cute.
yeah, so I wasn't a huge fan of this. I mean, I saw it because I went with you. I think a lot of the movies that you've seen as a kid, I most likely took you to see that.
Yeah.
So that's Monsters University. That was in 2013. So it's kind of like your nostalgia is like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But but it's still but yeah, I did like the first one more than this one. It was okay. This Monsters University, but the next one for Matthew is it's so recent that it's like it's in it's in the 2020s. But technically he was a child when he saw this, so Bullet Train. And this was kind of random as hell to me, Matthew, but what did you want to say about this?
So you definitely remember this part, but this trailer was in the theaters for like 2 years or something.
Yeah,
and
I
was
showing
I was tired of it. I like hated this movie like before it even came out, but it was like we had to see it since we already saw the trailer so many times. But this movie is like I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Like this cast is like it's really stacked. I think the cast really carries this movie, especially what's his face, Aaron Taylor Johnson. That's his name.
Oh yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yeah.
And yeah, like I hope this is a movie that becomes kind of like not like a franchise, but at least gets a couple sequels. I can see, like, especially with these characters, I feel like it would be something that I can enjoy for years on end.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so I mean, I saw this movie. I thought it was a fun movie too. Wouldn't say one of the greatest movie I've ever seen, but yeah, I do remember when we would go to see a movie. They would always play this trailer, like the same one for like months and months and months. So I think that worked on you, Matthew. So we ended up watching it. So, Alex, have you seen this?
I haven't. I didn't watch Monster. I didn't watch any of your nostalgia.
Oh, that's right. None of them.
None of them.
Oh, okay.
I've seen scenes from this one. I don't know. It wasn't for me.
Right. It didn't grab you to
Yeah.
want to watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, it was all right. Not bad. And recent, but
Very recent, like
3
your
years ago.
nostalgia. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Oh wow.
yeah. So yeah. All right. So we're gonna get into mine, and yeah. So I'm an older individual. So some of these nostalgic movies are definitely in the 90s. So, okay, so the first one is going to be The Lion King. The Lion King animated movies. So this one I was dying to watch. Obviously in the theater, and I had a great experience with this. It's one of the best. I think it's one of the best animated movies of all time. I go back and forth between this one and Toy Story. They might be at the same level, but it goes back and forth for me. Obviously, the story of this movie is legendary now. Wasn't a big fan of the live, quote unquote, live action adaptation of it. But yeah, this is one of those movies I wanted, like everything from this, like the toys, like everything. And there was when this movie came out, there was something that actually happened to me personally. That was kind of like connected to it too. So actually, two of the movies on this list are connected to that same incident. But Lion King, great film. I figure all of you guys have seen this. So what are your thoughts, Alex?
I love it, man. I remember also when I watched it for the first time in theaters. Great movie. I think also it's one of the best animated movies of all time. Really.
Yeah, this is one of the few movies that because my parents are not like big movie buffs or fans, not really. So this is one of those movies that the whole family went. I mean, Matthew didn't exist yet, but the whole family went. Myself, obviously, my sisters went, and they're all young. I was young, so it was a great time. So very nostalgic, great movie. And let's see, Mr. Cuso says some of the most memorable songs are from The Lion King, and yes, I would agree with that too. That was one of those Disney movies, or just movies in general, which I didn't mind that there was a lot of music and songs. Now I kind of mind, but back then I kind of didn't. I didn't really notice it. Really, it was just kind of part of the story. It was just like part of it, right?
Yeah.
The
music is beautiful.
Yeah, most definitely. And then of course they're doing the Mufasa prequel that's coming out in December. So like that, thumbs down. Matthew, your thoughts on this?
So yeah, it's a Disney classic that I saw dozens of times growing up. I remember watching this, the Lion King 2.
Oh yeah.
That movie, then also all the TV shows that were short-lived on Disney Channel. I did like this movie, not so much the live action or the new Broadway with Kanye West's daughter, but that's a whole different thing.
Oh wow.
But,
okay. You brought that up.
Yes,
Okay.
this is definitely up there with the Disney original animated movies. The score in this movie is amazing. All the sung songs I love. But yeah, I mean the Mufasa movie does intrigue me more than the live action did for this one. So hopefully that's good. But yeah.
Yeah. So we have Alice, our sister, saying hello, besties. Hello there, Alice. And let me know if you remember watching The Lion King, because I think you were an infant when we saw that. But all right, so that was my first one there. Okay, my next one. You guys have to really like forgive me, I guess you can say. But it's very nostalgic. I'm a huge Batman fan, and it is Batman Forever. Joel Schumacher's epic masterpiece film. So yeah, I was obsessed with this particular movie because this is when I was, at least that I remember, a movie or a Batman movie being advertised like regularly. And I was already a big Batman fan because of the animated series and obviously the Keaton Batman movies, which I wasn't able to watch in theaters. But then this one came out. I was a fan of Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was really big at the time. The Mask and all these other movies and things like that he was in. So I was super excited for this, and I watched it, and I did love it. I was a kid, so of course I still really liked it. And like I said, this movie is connected to an incident that happened to me personally, and it's very connected to that as well. So that's why it kind of adds to the memory bank, I guess you can say. So I know a lot of people do not like this movie, and I even as an adult watching it, I'm like, yeah, I totally get it. I totally, completely get it. But it's just gonna be there forever, no pun intended, in my memory. So yeah. So this is one of them here. Alice says the first movie I remember going to is Mulan. Okay, so another Disney movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were way too young, and I remember you being quiet for the Lion King. So yeah, Alex, let's go to you. What are your thoughts?
I don't like this movie. Didn't like it as a kid. I was super excited. I love Michael Keaton's Batman, but this one was like it took me out of it. I was really young too, but it's like this is not the Batman that I was used to watch. Still, I remember that I really liked Jim Carrey. I was obsessed with him back then. I was always trying to make faces like him and stuff. So,
Oh wow,
yeah.
that's funny.
So, yeah, not a big fan of the movie, but I understand the nostalgia. And I think it was for us like our first Batman movie because we were too young for the other ones. So,
yeah, definitely. But it's kind of funny that did you watch it when it first came out, or you waited like later?
no, I watched it in theaters. This one.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but it's kind of funny though. You're younger than I am, and you're already like,
Oh, really? I thought
Like,
I was
no,
older
this is
than
not-
you.
this is not me. So that's kind of funny.
But it was the same as when I watched Phantom Menace. It was like, oh, I'm so excited, and then it was like, no.
Yes. Let's see. Jose Plus says, I just got my Riddler in a few days ago. Love it. Did you get yours already, Gio? I have not. I have not gotten that Riddler quite yet, but it should arrive pretty soon. And then we have Alice saying, I'm at Knott's, so goodbye. I just wanted to say hello. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for dropping by, Alice. Mr. Cruz says, I still love the Batmobile from Forever. Yeah,
Me too.
I like that Batmobile, and the Jazz Inc. You know, they made that vehicle a 1/6 scale, and I would love to have it, but it was just super pricey, and it's huge. It's huge. I mean, I would like all the Batmobiles, and now they're working on, or they're doing the animated series of Batmobile 2 from Jazz Inc. So we'll see how
I might get
goes.
that. I might get that.
Oh, will you? Okay, yeah. So
I think
there.
I will buy it.
Yeah, because that one is how much did they say it was? $14.99.
Yeah, I want the blue one.
That's the one that I want too, right?
Yeah.
I want the blue one. I know some people were not a big fan of that, but because I saw both of them, the black and then they showed the blue one second, and I was like, that looks more like what I remember
Yeah.
more than anything. But yeah. Then we have here, Brick Artemis dropping by here, Mr. Brick Artemis. What's up, panel and chat? Thank you so much for being here, Mr. Brick Artemis. Greatly appreciate it. And Matthew, actually, I don't remember. No, you've seen this. You've seen Batman Forever, right?
Yeah.
I think
Probably the first Batman movie I saw. I think we had this on DVD or something. I don't know how I got like.
I think I gifted you like all of them.
Oh yeah, because I saw this and I also saw Batman and Robin, and I mean I liked both movies. I watched them a lot as a kid. So when people like, you know, when I grew up and people said these were like the worst Batman movies, you know, I didn't really understand, but but now that I watched them, I do get it. I still think, you know, Batman and Robin is still hilarious, but yeah, like you said, Jim Carrey, you know, this is like the era of like The Mask, another movie that I thoroughly enjoy. But I really enjoyed this movie a lot.
Yeah, so that came out in 1995. I remember the date, June 16th, because I know they were like advertising the shit out of it. And then June 20th, 1997 for the Batman and Robin. So yeah, I still remember all that stuff there. Okay, so it looks like we're caught up in the chat. Okay, so the next one, and this is the last one for me. Now, I would say that this particular movie really resonates and really hits like a summer movie, not just because it came out during the summer, but because the name of the movie, Independence Day, which here in the US is in July, on July 4th, right? So I had a blast watching this movie here in the theater. That's what made me a fan of. I mean, I do like disaster movies, right? I do like disaster movies. A lot of them are very bad. Like they really are really bad. This is the first one. Or actually, no, it's 1996. So this one, and Twister, they came out the same year. And those two movies, I was a huge fan of. But this one in particular, because it has aliens, right? So like space, creatures. Will Smith was starting to like be like really big and stuff, and it was a lot of fun. And I do like watching this like every year. At least I try to. And then that speech by Bill Pullman, that presidential speech, which is like no real president has ever done a speech like this one right here. And there's like, like humankind, we're all gathering together to, fight against these aliens. Like, forget about your whatever issues that you have amongst you humans. We all have to gather together and battle this aliens that are attacking us and shit like that. So like, just forget all the other shit. So
That's
no
when
president.
the suspension of disbelief ends.
Right,
will never
right.
happen. Yeah.
So right, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I was like, this is true fantasy. I mean, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of fun. And then I know when I watched this movie, I went with my grandma.
Really?
With my grandma. So yeah, she was like the only one that could go with me or something.
What the heck?
Yeah. So she went with me, and I think she was like falling asleep. And then at one point, when the ship started attacking, like she wakes up and was like, "What? Like, what the hell's happening?" When they like start attacking the base and stuff like that, like all these hundreds of alien ships like dropping by, shooting all these green stuff or green whatever. I don't know what they call them, blasters or whatever. So yeah, it's a great movie, and then I just like the build up of like to the countdown of when they all like arrive to the conveniently the major cities of Earth and things like that. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. But Matthew, have you seen Independence Day? I'm not sure if you have.
I don't think I have, but
another movie.
But I have seen Independence Day Resurgence, and I actually saw that on July 4th, 2016. So
yeah, no.
No.
I did watch that.
Not the same thing.
Nope. Even though it's the same filmmaker, but no. Alex, how about you?
I didn't watch it in theaters. I watched it at home. Really like it. It's a super fun movie. Haven't seen it in quite a while now, but I still like it, man. Those aliens were terrifying. I remember the when they're doing the autopsy at the. It was very, very scary for me. I was young.
Really?
That really freaked me out, but it was really cool.
Yeah, it's just a very fun movie. Mr. Brick Autumn is saying saw this in a drive-through movie or a theater. Yeah. And then we have Dan, the Bat fan, dropping by. Hello, Mr. Dan. Thank you so much for dropping by.
Dan, I hope you're enjoying The Acolyte. I know you love it.
Oh, wow.
It's your favorite show of all time.
Yeah.
Mine too. Mine too is my favorite show.
Okay. Let's see. Hello, Dan. Mr. Kuzo say, I remember wanting to stand up and clap in the theater after the president's speech. See? That's just me. So it's like, let me vote for Bill Pullman right now. President right now. I haven't seen Independence Day since I saw it in the theater, but I remember liking it. Says Mr. Brick Autumn.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah, and then Dan just laughing at your acolyte.
Yeah, we were chatting the other day about the acolyte.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He posted something, and I was like, "Yeah, man, yeah." Right. What can we say?
Yeah, well, it is what it is. But so yeah, I think we're all caught up here with at least this nostalgic summer movies. It was interesting. My picks, your picks, Alex, and then obviously Matthew's picks are quite different because he's younger.
Generation, man, like
the Gen Z take, yeah, or the Gen Z hot take with that comment that you made earlier. But yeah, so let's move on to the last segment for today's show here. And I know you've played this, Alex, but actually Matthew, even though Matthew's been on my channel many, many times, he actually hasn't really been on here, I don't think this year, since I started this new version of Buy, Rent, or Destroy. So that's what Matthew's going to do right now. So he's going to play Buy, Rent, or Destroy. So again, very similar to, the Figures Talk one that I do, but this one is just pertaining to movies. So Matthew will play this, and then Matthew, I don't remember, are you familiar? You're familiar how this works, right? But I mean, I'll still give you the
I buy one,
right?
I rent one, I destroy one.
Right. So, but the thing is not that you just buy one. So you buy the movie, that is the movie that you'll watch forever, right? So, and then the rent one is that it's a movie that you can watch maybe once every 5 years.
Okay.
And then destroying is that you might be destroying that movie, but also anything connected to
From
it.
existence?
Right, correct. So, although you'll remember that they existed and then that you love them.
Just me?
So that, right. It's just saying, what's up, Rick, Mr. Dan. Okay, so here they are, Matthew. So here are yours. So the first one is Cars, as you could probably imagine, right? Connected to all the Cars movies. This one I wasn't sure about, but I'll still drop it in here. And that's Star Wars prequels. That will include any Clone Wars or anything connected to it. And then the last one is going to be any Spider-Man movie. Any Spider-Man film. So those are going to be your 3 there, Matthew.
So when you say prequel trilogy, that just retains anything prequel, anything Clone Wars related, not Star Wars as a whole?
Correct, including the Acolyte. So.
I'm not sure that actually. So I'm gonna destroy the prequel trilogy.
Oh, wow. That was fast, actually. Okay.
I don't really care much for the prequels.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a big fan of Revenge of the Sith. Like, I know that's like a lot of people's favorite Star Wars movie, but I don't really see the hype. But and I'll rent Spider-Man movies.
Okay.
Because I don't really rewatch them that much, like, if at all. Like, there's some Spider-Man movies I haven't rewatched, like most of the Tom Holland or Amazing Spider-Man movies. And I'll buy Cars. That's a movie I rewatch very often, actually, like once every 3 or 4 months ish. So, yeah.
All right. So you're buying Cars, okay? Renting the Spider-Man movies, and then you're destroying the Star Wars prequels. Okay. So that was news to me about the whole Revenge of the Sith. So all these hot takes today, Matthew. What the hell's going on?
What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Okay.
Good answer.
I mean, Rise of Skywalker.
We're enemies now. That's a movie that I hate the most.
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Mr. Kusa says, buy prequels, rent Spidey, and destroy Cars. So, Dan the Batman says, destroy Lightning McQueen, Matthew, and friends. Oh wow, and friends. I like that he added the and friends to him. Rent Spidey and buy the prequels. So
I'm the same as you.
Right. So there you go. So that was Matthew's choices there, his picks, and he didn't seem to struggle at all. So I wasn't sure about the Star Wars. Like, I know you like Star Wars, and I know we've kind of been like resurfacing more the prequel stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that you don't really care that much about it. So, but yeah, so that was Matthew there. Okay, so let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to bring up. I think that's pretty much it. So let's see. How many do we have? Okay, I think we have enough people here. So from the people who are in the live chat right now, just say that you're a subscriber or a follower to the Movie Canon. So I'll add you into the little race thing. So if you have an address with the United States and you're a subscriber or a follower to the Movie Canon, you will enter this mystery Funko giveaway. So let me just double check on something here before we do that. Okay. So just in the live chat here, if there's anyone who's still here. Oh, I got one right here. All right, Mr. Kus. Okay, Mr. Subscriber and follower. Okay, so far we only have one person, so we'll wait a little bit. But if there's only one person, then I'm gonna have to cancel it. But so let's see here. Actually, while we do that, hold on a second here. Actually, since we're about to end the stream here, Mr. Alex, I'm gonna have you plug, your channel and things like that now. So let me go and get there real quick here. Okay, so there you go. So, Mr. Alex Montano, what do you have going on, if anything?
Oh, so my channel, it's kind of like Gio's. It's movie reviews, TV shows. It's in Spanish, but you can put English captions on if you want to go and subscribe and watch it. I'm really happy because I just had the channel for a few weeks, and this is a small number, but I have 78 subscribers already, so it's pretty cool. I'm happy. So if you guys want to learn some Spanish and listening to a guy rant about movies, go ahead.
Just ranting about movies. Yeah, because you had the other. Yeah, you had the other channel.
Yeah, but I abandoned it. So like, I thought it was a better idea to start a new one, and yeah, I'm very happy, man. Like, just the last video did pretty well, so I'm happy.
Oh, was that the one with the helmet?
No, I made a review of Lost.
Oh,
Yeah.
right here. I didn't even see this actually.
Yeah, and people liked it, man. I was surprised. Like, I thought, like, who cares about Lost nowadays?
Oh wow.
And yeah,
there you are.
yeah. So yeah, if you guys want to go watch it and subscribe, like, I'm gonna make a review of The Office. I'm actually gonna film it today. So
that one I know will do well. For sure.
I hope so, because I've never watched it. I never felt interested to the show because I never worked in an office in my life. So it was like, I don't care much about that, but I finally watched the whole thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I've been working in the office for like a decade, and I totally get all that stuff. Especially more Office Space. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Yes.
That's the situation right now with my office right now. but yeah, it's more like that. But yeah, so
I compared it to a classroom because like I worked on set a lot of times, but never in an office space. But it's like working on set, like, people are always making the same jokes. There's always this guy that, it's the same but different, because work on a movie, after 2 months you stop seeing the people. So
okay, yeah. But yeah, so that's Alex's channel there, guys. So the link is also in the description of the video. So if you're interested there, go ahead and go there. And subscribe and watch the videos. Like, again, they're in Spanish, but you're able to do you can always add like subtitles and stuff now.
Yeah, you can activate the captions there. Like, I tried it on a few times. Yeah.
So there you go there. And Matthew, I mean, you don't have like a channel or
I mean, I do.
Actually, you
post,
did
biannually. So if you're here for the long term, you can wait for the next release.
For the long term, okay. so that's Matthew's Instagram page. Again, the link is also in the description. And then Matthew's plays band and stuff like that. He went to what tour last year, right, Matthew? All these different states. And so yeah, so I know you used to do like more stuff like video games and stuff, like just streaming.
Yeah. I mean, you could show my channel if
I don't think
it's just the same as my Instagram. It should be the first result there, but you know, I would like to get back into it, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. So so we don't have enough viewership right now for the mystery Funko. So I mean, there's only one person. I'm not gonna do just one person. So we'll go and cancel it here. But moving forward, though, tomorrow I am doing the Figure Stock episode 15 at 6 p.m. Pacific time. There's quite a lot of stuff that actually was at least announced or released, or or teased or whatever the case. And I am doing the Figures Talk matchup. For the ones who are familiar with it, there's a couple of people that are going to go at it to try to get to the championship in July. So quite a stacked panel here again. So and then hopefully I'll have you on there, Alex, soon on Figures Talk. I think that's the only show that you haven't been on yet. But let's see here. Fun stream, guys. Mr. Crystal, thanks so much, Mr. Crystal, for always being on here. Greatly appreciated there. And I think I already talked about the 50th episode of the Met Reports, the giveaways that I'm going to do. It'll be sometime next month. I still don't know exactly when. This was episode 48, right? So the next one, I don't know if I'm doing an episode next Saturday or whatever the case may be in July, but whenever episode 50 is, which is coming up, then that's when we'll do these giveaways, and possibly, if it's doable, and if I'm able to secure it, the Wolverine popcorn buckets. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. But yeah. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Alex, thanks so much for being on the panel again. Greatly appreciate it. And then Matthew, your return to the Movie Canon YouTube channel. So thank you so much.
Turn of the little brother.
Exactly. With all of his hot takes today, which were unexpected. So
with more to
come.
come.
Yeah, more to come. Okay, there you go. More to come. So that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching the replay, I appreciate that as well. So make sure to watch us tomorrow night, and then I'll give you more information about future giveaways, other streams, or whatever the case. But thank you so much, everyone, and I'll see you guys next time.